Come with us now, if you dare, down a rickety staircase into a dank, dark basement. What awaits? The Saturday Night Freak Show.
Hey, thanks for listening to the Saturday Night Freak Show podcast, the movie review and talk show podcast that comes your way every Saturday. It's inevitable.
Like Thanos.
I am inevitable.
And we are Iron Man.
These are the internet radio superstars.
Michaela.
Sean.
Holly.
And I'm Colin. And tonight we watched a movie that was chosen by
Holly.
Mwah.
It's our last pick of the year.
It was, yeah.
What did we watch tonight?
We watched a movie called The Fifth Chord.
The Fifth Chord. Okay.
Correct.
From the year.
1971.
Did we watch one that was from 1971 recently? Directed
Probably.
by.
Yeah, we just what did we just watch?
74.
So,
It was
yeah,
early
directed.
70s. That's what I'm thinking of.
I was say I've been on a 70s kick for a while, so it could have been me. I don't know.
Does the Christmas season bring out the 70s? Do we all
No,
just feel
it's
kind of
just,
retro?
it's just
or
this year I've been like dipping into the 70s.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's like people I surround myself with. I don't know.
But also, I feel like giallo movies make sense in the winter time. I don't know why I can't describe it, but I feel like I should watch them in the winter
It was supposed to
time.
be like in the winter. It was supposed to be, like around New Year's, but it was clearly filmed in the summer.
Yeah.
clearly.
Mhm.
Bothered me.
That's why you picked it, right? Because it is a New Year's
It is
movie.
a New Year's movie, yeah.
For a day?
Yeah, for a day.
the basis of the movie is New Year's.
Sure.
Like the event is New Year's.
Right.
Right.
Our instigating,
Yeah.
inciting incident is New Year's.
Oh, yeah? Well, we'll get into that. All right.
Directed by
Luigi Bazzoni.
Luigi Bazzoni.
Bazzoni.
Do we know Bazzoni?
You may. He did The Possessed, Man, Pride, and Vengeance, Brothers Blue.
Man, Pride, and Vengeance. Not Man, Pride?
Man, Pride,
Okay.
and Vengeance.
Commas.
Commas.
Gotcha.
I
That's
just,
one
Oxford
movie.
comma.
Okay,
It
gotcha.
was like Man, Pride, and Vengeance.
Yeah.
That's a weird one.
Man, Pride, and
Okay.
Vengeance. It's one movie. Brothers Blue, Footprints on the Moon.
Nope.
Nope,
Got nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Well, very proud of you, Holly, for bringing
Yeah.
a giallo movie to
you.
the Saturday Night Freak
I
Show.
thought you'd be proud of me.
I mean, we've talked about, I guess, giallos before at length.
Have we?
Have we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have.
Well, we've
Oh, no.
established
I'm
that
sorry. I
they're
didn't mean to give you a gateway discussing it more, but yes, go ahead.
right. So we're assuming the audience is familiar with the Italian, the giallo,
If they've listened to us, they should be.
Yeah.
and that they were basically all kicked off really with the bird with the crystal plumage. I just had to
Yes.
say that
There it is.
title.
The most valuable
Check
movie
your
in
bingo
freak show
card.
history.
There it
Ding,
is.
ding, ding.
Did you know there's a connection between this movie and the bird with the crystal plumage?
What is that,
actor
Colin?
was in both?
It wasn't. It was the cinematographer Vittorio Storaro who shot this movie. Also shot the bird with the crystal plumage. Did you know that
Probably
Vittorio Storaro is, I think, aside from Emanuele Lubezki, the only cinematographer to have 3 Academy Awards for best
Oh.
cinematography?
Wow.
Amazing.
That's cool.
That's
Did
amazing.
not
I mean,
know that. What for?
he's great.
He won. Do you know what he won for?
No, I don't.
Apocalypse Now,
Oh, wow. Okay.
Reds, the Warren Beatty
Reds.
movie,
Yep.
Yeah.
and The Last Emperor, the
Gotcha.
Bernardo
Okay.
Bertolucci movie.
Yeah.
So he
Wow.
worked with Coppola, Warren Beatty, Bertolucci. He shot Dick Tracy.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
He was
Fantastic.
nominated for Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
He shot One for the Heart for Coppola, Tucker the Man in His Dream.
We should watch Dick Tracy.
I have been talking about bringing Dick Tracy for years because I think we would just have fun talking about
Oh,
it.
I think so.
Like,
just
it's-
from the insane
Yeah.
actor
Yeah.
portrayals and just. Oof.
See, I mentioned it a few years ago, and I got like well, that's not a freak show
We've
movie.
changed, Holly.
Yeah. Okay.
We've changed.
Okay.
We're more.
Then I'm fucking bringing it next year.
Holly,
It's
we used to not bring sequels or TV movies to this show. It
Well,
was
look
like they
where
were
we are now.
outlawed, and look where we are.
You
now.
broke most of those rules.
Yeah.
I think so. Somebody had to.
Halloween 2, the TV cut.
Yeah.
I apologize. All right. Sometimes you get too far into your own shit, and you're just like,
true.
everyone else will like this, right?
The moment you did that, I should have been like, I'm bringing Dick Tracy.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck
Right.
you.
Warranted.
We did Home Alone. I'm sorry, they did Home
Okay.
Alone.
Yeah, that was not us. I don't claim
did Home
ownership over
Alone.
that.
But
I think I can
that's a
bring
past
Tracy.
era that we try not to talk about. I'm pretty sure Hook was also brought to this.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know how in Family Matters, Judy Winslow like walks up the stairs and never is on the show again? That happened to some past members of the podcast. They just walked up the basement stairs and you never saw them again.
Yeah, I saw a
Yes,
trailer
like-
for Santa's Sleigh the other day. I saw. You went right. I forgot how many fucking people were in that movie. There's a con in that movie.
James Caan's in
James
the
Caan?
beginning of it. Yeah,
Everyone's
we
in
did
that
Santa's
movie.
Sleigh. Yeah,
We
on the
did.
show.
It
That
changed
was
the
a hard
course of
night.
freak show history.
Yeah, I'd bring it up because it was like this
Yeah.
time so many years ago.
Yeah.
That was a hard night.
The freak show changed.
I kind of wish we could redo that one because I think we could have had.
Do
a
you
lot
think
more
it
fun
would
with
close? It would close like a timeline loop if you did that? Do you
Maybe.
think?
Oh, the world
Like-
would end if we did it again. I think. Like, it would just be over. I think you should do it.
Well, do you think that? So, I mean, I guess the cinematography of the Fifth Chord. What'd you think of it? I mean, how?
I like it. There's
All right, if they had gone through the stairs, 2 thumbs up. But
You're talking
I'm
about?
kidding, I'm kidding.
It's not even a tracking shot. Dolly shot.
yeah. Fincher would have gone through the stairs
Yeah.
digitally, but
I mean, it's 1971.
no. I have no
It's
complaints.
low budget.
I was
Like
joking.
my gauge in the cinematography movie is if I'm watching it and there are multiple scenes where I'm like, I would like to paint that.
Yes,
Mhm.
that was
And I
it,
had
because
that
happens a
ma-
lot. You're just
I
like,
had
paint
that
it,
many
paint it,
times
paint
during
it.
this movie.
Like when
I'm
the
like, I
guy's
wanna
coming
paint
down
that.
the beach of stairs,
Yeah.
Yeah.
where he comes down and then there's just a little red car in the right corner.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just
There's
that
a
whole
lot of
thing and
really
the
great
red pops and
set-
when
yeah.
there's that between the Franco Nero and the police investigator when they're talking in the garage and it's just the
Yeah, that was
That
cool.
was great. That
'Cause
looked great.
It's how do we explain? It's like Venetian blinds
But
turned
the other way.
sideways,
Yeah.
right? They're in front of them, and then there's a car roof in the
Yeah.
fork, so it reflects it.
you get
So you
silhouettes
basically
and
just have
reflections.
silhouettes
It's beautiful.
with bars like all around. It's
Yeah.
At a
like
police
at the top
station.
and bottom. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of Venetian blinds.
Yeah. In different colors too, because in his apartment it's like it's warmer, but when he goes to the blinds, it's like blue Venetian blinds, and cinematography.
It's really pretty.
It's very
And
nice.
I think it's like you couple like the cinema. I think it is one of like the better shot giallo movie. Like when
Yeah.
you watch a bunch of them, you go like that one looks different than all the other ones. But it also has, I suppose, when you couple photography with like just Italian interior design.
Yes, beautiful.
Mhm.
Oh my God, the place where is it Helene's house with Tony?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh, I love
with
their
the
house.
fireplace
It's
in
like
the
a,
middle.
It's like a lodge retreat. It's
It's-
beautiful.
Yeah, it's
Glass
like
walls,
it's like a
the-
mid-century modern ski lodge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
like-
it's in Italy.
yeah.
That's what I
it's
always wonder.
amazing.
Like, where do they find these? Like, that's not. I bet that's what it is. It's probably like a hotel or
It might
or
be-
something
or
that they.
some,
I don't
or some
know.
rich filmmaker is just like, yeah, use my house.
Yeah. I mean,
They
that's, I
knew
guess,
someone.
the reason that you watch giallo movies is for like fashion.
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, the fashion in this is turtlenecks
Yeah.
everywhere.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Oh
Love
my
it.
gosh.
Everyone should be in a
there's-
magazine
yeah.
for the pose.
There's a scene at a funeral
Versace.
there's a scene at a funeral when the main character looks over and a woman like turns to look at him and just like the impact of her amazing sunglasses when she turned.
Right.
I was like, oh my
A lot of
god,
great sunglasses.
those are gorgeous.
A lot of great turtlenecks and overcoats in this. Just with
So many trench coats.
Oh,
Yeah.
so many trench coats.
So many trench coats.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. Like that's,
Obsessed.
I guess, the thing that that this genre has. That I don't know. Like if any other, I mean, because fashion, architecture,
Mhm.
beautiful
Oh, yeah. So many
women,
spiral staircases.
and then usually there's gory murders. This one,
That's the thing. It's juxtaposed. I'm going to use that word again. But just, again, all that beautifulness and then the violence that happens
Yeah,
within
yeah.
it is
And-
it's giallo.
You just mentioned there are a lot of staircases in this
A lot of
movie.
staircases.
I don't know the symbolism of that, or if there is, or if they just really like staircases. I don't know.
Well, not just because they're spiral. I think that is like if they were just regular staircases, but I think there is symbolism.
There's
in
a
the spiraling,
ton of
'cause
spiraled
everyone
staircases.
spirals.
Yeah.
yeah.
in this.
Tons of
I
them.
mean, it's got to be like what they're, if we're trying to
Yeah.
read this, it's like because it's so overt. It's in
Yes.
so many shots, spiral staircases.
Yeah, Dr.
spiral
Bean's
staircases.
office, like there is no there are like 4 exterior spiral staircases that go up the side of the building, so it feels like
Yeah.
it's purposeful. It's
All right, my
Yeah.
friends, then we have to figure out Venetian blinds. Like, what's the symbolism of Venetian blinds?
I mean, because
usually
it only shows you so much until you look closer. I don't know, something like that. You're only getting a partial view.
a lot of them are
something.
just like barely open.
Yeah, it's like you see a little bit, but not enough to be like, hey, what It's not revealing. I don't know. There's something there. Come on.
We're forgetting the supporting character of the giallo universe, though. J&B whiskey
J&B.
is also in this.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
With, like driving in a car. drinking
Yeah.
J&B whiskey.
A road soda.
I
Yeah.
thought you were going to
Yeah.
say Franco Nero's chin.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
my God.
Come on.
Just a great chin
His
and
chin is
mustache
second
combo. And, like the thickness of his sideburns.
He's a beautiful man.
He's a beautiful man.
He's a beautiful,
Beautiful
man.
man.
Beautiful blue eyes.
Who we know from
Yeah.
Colin's first
Well,
pick, you claim?
Yeah, that's why I was sitting here going like, wow, Franco Nero on this show is like a callback to, I think the first movie that I
look
ever
it up.
brought to the Saturday Night Freak Show
Look it up.
was Django.
Yeah.
That's an Italian spaghetti Western. That was his
I-
breakout role.
And I think Man, Pride, and Vengeance, I think that's a Django related movie. I think
Yeah.
he's in that.
Because,
Yeah.
it's
You
been,
did.
it's been like
21, 2012.
wow,
Django.
almost
So
to the
12
day.
So 12,
12 years ago.
12 years ago, almost
Almost
to the
to the
day.
day.
One
Welcome
wow.
back, Franco
Wow.
Nero. Franco
We
Nero.
closed
Okay.
his loop. We can move on
Yeah,
now.
we did. Yeah, he's gone.
So I guess that's it. So we should talk about him for a little bit. I guess like he, Django was his breakout role, and like you said, there were so many spin-offs
Yeah.
of Django, like
Yeah.
100.
Was he in
There's
all
like
of them?
100 movies. No,
So,
he's
like
in
the
like,
director of this did one of them, at least one of them with.
Oh, nice.
like everybody. I think
Man,
who
Pride,
worked
and
in
Vengeance.
Italian movies at some point did a Django. And then the Trinity and Sabata, and they put them all together. And I mean, they were just like he's an anti-hero, drags a coffin behind him.
Ooh.
Can we say what's in the coffin?
Guns. It's like a desperado situation. He just kicks it open and he blows everybody away.
Yeah, he's got. Well, you weren't here for that?
No, I was not.
Oh,
here for
he's got a.
that was
it's
like the
a,
second one. I didn't come
It's a
to like
Gatling gun. Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
Like Jonah
See?
Hex. Nice. Yeah.
10. Okay, why bring up the worst one? Michaela, you brought it here.
That scene was in the trailer and it was cool. He had the two Gatling guns on the side of the horse. That was like the money shot of that movie.
I hope make that your go-to. It's like it's just like Jonah Hex,
Jonah
even if
Hex.
it's not
I'm
really-
the only person who's seen that movie probably more than once. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Is that gonna be Michaela's new thing to tie everything?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like
Jonah
Jonah
Hex.
Hex. Yeah.
As a person who's recently watched Jonah Hex,
Yeah.
Well,
We
Franco.
were just talking about Megan Fox.
Megan Fox.
that's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
how
we
we
forgot
back to
that
Jonah
back
Hex.
to-
God.
Yeah.
Well, Franco Nero. So he was. I guess it was like a photographer painter or something like that, and he was discovered by John Huston because he was working on the Bible. John Huston's the Bible. He was cast as Abel
The whole Bible.
in the Bible, the movie.
Wow.
And Django is his breakout role. He then like just starred in tons and tons of stuff, and he did some English language and American movies. And we
Yeah.
probably know him best as General Esperanza in Die Hard 2.
Oh man, the
Remember
worst
Die Hard 2?
Well, oh, no, not the worst Die Hard. I'm
I
sorry.
was good.
The worst of
I'm
the first.
sorry.
The worst of the original of the Holy Trinity.
Worst? Okay.
of the first,
The
second,
lesser?
and third.
I
You
watched
could
that
skip
one.
part 2.
I watched that one at Christmas now
You
because
could
it's
skip
more
2.
snowy than. But he was also recently in John Wick Chapter 3.
Nice.
In Quentin Tarantino's Django Unchained, he shows up
Sure.
basically for a cameo appearance. The D is
You
silent.
gotta, yeah.
And he, I guess one of the interesting things about him, only because we watched Blowout recently, or Blow Up.
Blow Up.
Sorry.
Blow up,
Yeah.
yes.
He had a long relationship with Vanessa Redgrave. I guess they dated for many years, had a kid, and then, I don't know, they split and there was other kids, and then they eventually got married, and they have been together like forever.
Wow.
It's amazing.
And I
Did not know
believe that, he walked Natasha Redgrave down the aisle with when she got married to Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Tasha Richardson.
Richardson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do that every
Vanessa
time.
Redgrave's daughter. Yeah, yeah. So Franco Nero, but he has a movie star look
He
Yeah, he
Oh,
does.
definitely.
Yeah.
and like a machismo swagger, and he slaps people around all the time.
Yeah, at one point for giallo slapping women around against Stephen King. We just saw a Stephen King one not that long ago that did it though. But they're neck and neck right now.
There's a
Yeah,
lot
so
of
women
slapping.
To be fair, men get slapped around in this one too, though. So he's
A
an
lot of
equal
men get
opportunity
slapped.
slapper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Michaela got up, walked over to the wall, and put
yeah,
another
put a little
slash
check.
on there for
That
giallo.
point for giallo. Yep.
I always wondered, do we think that Leonardo DiCaprio's character in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is kind of based on Frank Nero? I feel like there's a lot of similarities there in what they were going for in that movie.
I don't know what kind of mustache Franco Nero had, but I don't know. I have not seen anything else with Franco Nero, I don't think, so I am not one to say.
Well, he's
Except
got like, I don't know. I mean, I've seen him in other like Italian stuff. He's done like all the genres. There's a Death Wish ripoff because Italians famously ripped off
famously
Street Law, where he's in it. That's pretty good. And he is one of the talking heads in a great like documentary where they were talking about like Italian, like police and mob movies. And it was from him, I think, that I got this kind of picture in my mind of like what Italian cinema goers were like at the time when these things came out, the giallos, or through the 70s. They said, it's like Italy was an outdoor culture. It was so hot, nobody had air conditioning. Everybody, that's why you had cafes on the streets and all that. But movie theaters had air conditioning, and so they didn't have television, I guess. It wasn't widespread, and so they would crank out movies like hundreds of them a year. So that's, I guess, the thing. It's like, why are there so many giallos or police movies or mafia movies? Because you had to have a new movie like every night of the week.
Wow.
I mean, and then television
go there to cool down.
Yeah. So everybody went to go to the movies like all the time, and so you had to have new content all the time. So every week there's a new movie.
So they invented air conditioning, and the Italian film industry just went fucking downhill. Is that what you're telling me?
No, it was television. When TV finally caught on, I think that killed Italian. Yeah,
they're like, it's over. We're done. We can't do anymore.
Yeah, the movie industry. Well, they just made them for TV. So.
And now there's Netflix.
And now there's Netflix and
but Hot Frosty and
the great era of Italians just making tons of movies is all over. But you go back and see these ones and like a little relic of the past, time capsule. So the fifth chord, obviously inspired by the wave that was started with Bird with Crystal Plumage,
Bing,
has a different title. I think that's something like that.
Yes.
What was the long title we saw at the beginning?
It's Giornata Nero per l'Ariete.
Access your Italian, Holly.
There it is. That's it. It means Black Day for Aries.
Oh. Okay, so what do we got there?
Which does come in at the end.
We got a color,
with color and
a number, kind of
an animal, I guess, right? Yeah,
the ram.
Yeah, the ram.
Yeah.
So it's close enough. If we had the giallo movie name generator, this would pop out of it for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Does that exist online? It's got to.
It
right?
does.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah.
Does it?
For many
it does,
years.
but
many years.
Yeah, because I mean, when we would bring or when I would bring giallo movies before. I would give you the quiz of is it?
Remember he did the quiz.
I was using
which of these is not a giallo movie.
Yes,
we did do the quiz.
We failed.
I kept using
year. We failed horribly.
Oh, we failed monstrously.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, that's what I used to generate all those amazing titles.
That's right.
Yeah.
The fifth chord, though, I'm still struggling to understand the significance of this title.
If he cut like 5 throats, I would understand. Like
fifth chord.
I
thought there's going to be musical significance to that.
I can only. This is me speculating because I really don't know, but this is based on a novel called The Fifth Chord.
Okay.
So what was in the novel?
Right. I have to assume that the novel has more detail that makes sense for that.
Okay.
I really don't know how the stories correlate or don't match. I don't know.
Okay.
But it is based on the novel, so I assume there's more to it in the novel.
Yeah, because there's no musical element of this movie.
At the very least, he should be killing people with piano wire, right?
Yeah, that's what I
That's
thought.
what the fifth chord should be. That's the chord he's using.
Yeah. And there is music in this movie by Ennio Morricone, but
the brilliant man himself.
He didn't like all of them. Okay, so
he's so great.
We've got a giallo movie, and it starts on New Year's Eve.
It does. That's why I brought it.
So what's the inciting incident that's going to kick off? Because I mean, basically, it's a mystery. So
yeah, it's a New Year's Eve party. That's where it opens. And everyone's mingling at the party, and it's when everyone leaves that there's an occurrence that gets everyone's attention.
Okay, and so we're introduced to like I don't know how many characters.
Many.
Like
Too many.
under the credits.
A lot.
Yeah, that doesn't help either. That in
Right.
fact we have big credits going over all these people in a time where we should be trying to memorize who these people are because they will come into play later.
Do you guys do that too? You're like, I'm aware that I'm in, like, okay, this is some kind of mystery, and I need to know, like, who. They're looking sideways. This person's kissing that person.
Yeah, especially during the beginning of the movie when we are in the event that kind of
It's like Colin pointed out, like in the first 2 minutes, there's side glances all over the place.
Yeah. So move your goddamn credits. I need to see these people so that I remember them later. Because again, this is in Italian with subtitles. It's going to be a little harder to remember.
And I feel like they have pointless credits. There's one that it's like partially filmed in an office. Blah blah. Like, what are you talking
put that
about?
at the end when?
Why are you talking about that now? I feel like we need to know who these people are.
Yeah, but I don't think they did like end credits back then. That was that was a change that came years after. So they front load it, but so it's like it was part of a contract or something, so they could get into. It's
like, okay, fine. Well, then do some sort of like opening credits before you get to the party.
Yeah.
Like give us something.
We are introduced to the antagonist pretty much like right off the bat.
With the recording.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do we got there? Who's
it's like a diary entry. It's like a recorded diary entry.
Yes.
But it's
explaining
like it's slowed down, so it's like the voiceover, like anonymous voice. And it's explaining, I've got a plan of people that I'm going to kill in a specific way.
Yeah, and it's full of the like, I'm superior, and I'm going to be doing this. And there's not going to be any.
I'm liberating these people.
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
there's no mistakes, and you're like, okay, it's a psycho killer.
Yeah,
and he's basically saying that he has, no motive other than, just to be able to do it.
Yeah,
you know?
Like you said, he was liberating these people who have no other recourse except for like nothing would be better in their lives except death at some point. Yeah, so he's again, like you said, psychotic.
Okay, so that's the setup, right? Yes. Psychotic killer, New Year's Eve party. The killer is there, we believe, because we see like this fisheye perspective going through the party. So the killer is there, and then we're introduced to all the characters, including Franco Nero. And so who does he play in this movie?
Andrea.
like from, is that Devil Wears Prada? Andrea. Yeah.
Andrea Bild.
Yep.
He's a journalist.
He is.
A reporter.
A hard-nosed journalist.
Mm-hmm.
But he has a character flaw.
He has a couple. He is a character flaw. He's a walking character flaw.
Well, he has a problem with alcohol.
He does.
That is pointed out by one of his girlfriends.
Yes, and probably womanizing. Pointed out by Helene, I think.
Yeah.
So is that like are we getting Helene's his wife, ex-wife?
Yeah.
Ex-lover.
Yeah, you didn't think it was more than that?
Major ex-lover, like a big part of his life.
Like, I feel like they were together
for a while.
And they would have gotten married, but then she was like, I'm going to marry this guy for his money instead.
Right, because you are falling apart.
Yeah. It's kind of the impression I got.
Right.
But he's like, well, please take me
He's
back.
like, but I still love you. Because he's very drunk.
Yep. Jesus is like, nope, it's over. And we're like, yeah, it's not going to be over for this whole movie, but okay. Yeah.
Even he knows it's over, but he gets drunk and he's just like, please.
So he's drunk at the party. There's a bunch of people at the party. We're introduced to, Edward Purdom is in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Who you remember from past Freak Show episodes, such as
Don't Open Till Christmas. You guys remember that Santa got his dick sliced off with a razor in that movie?
All right.
That was the Killer Santa movie where there was people killing Santa.
Yes.
Or there was a killer killing Santa.
Yes.
Yeah. That was
so it's been like a couple years since that, like to the day since that.
Yeah.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're closing lots of loops tonight.
Yeah, because weren't we like, we did like this whole, like Edward Purdom was like a Hollywood like star who fell from grace and ended up in Italian movies.
Yes.
And then because he was in Pieces. Remember he was
yes.
The police inspector in Pieces. But he produced or co-wrote something, Don't Open Till Christmas and Slaughter High, which I think on this show we established the only two British slasher movies.
Yeah, exactly. This guy's kind of had a big impact on the slasher genre when you think about that, you know.
True.
And now we've done 4 of his movies.
Maybe we're his biggest fans.
Maybe. We're like the only people who know who Edward Purdom is.
Do a convention just for us.
Wait,
we'll
is he
come.
alive?
Oh God!
I'm gonna let somebody else take that one.
I immediately looked at Sean.
I will say nothing.
Yeah.
He's dead, as far as I'm concerned.
Because the director of this is dead. May he rest. Luigi.
Well, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Well, Purdom's one of the suspect. Everybody's a suspect.
Everyone's a suspect.
Everybody's a suspect.
Yeah. So we've got several.
Wait, but who did he play in this?
He was the
He's dead.
Australian French teacher.
Okay.
Okay.
So he's the guy in the neck brace.
No.
No, the other one.
Wait, who's the other
The
one?
one with the glasses.
Eric Roberts?
Yes.
Okay.
Dear Braylon,
Italian
he's not
Eric
actually
Roberts.
Eric Roberts.
I
just-
wish.
He's Italian Eric Roberts.
He's Italian Eric Roberts.
You guys, do you guys remember that he is in the Killer's music video for Mr. Brightside?
Is he?
Stop.
Yeah, I think he might be Mr. Brightside.
Oh my god.
Really?
Yeah, he's,
I don't remember
he's
that.
in that music video a lot. Yeah, isn't that
that's
crazy?
funny.
Eric Roberts, he shows up when you least expect it, but you're always glad to see him,
I
right?
don't remember that.
Because you know he's going to
at all.
introduce an element of chaos, if nothing else, right? You know he's got a whole series of movies going on Lifetime right now. Did
Oh,
you
I
know
bet.
this? Stalked by My Doctor series. You heard about these?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like 6
no,
of them.
we have not.
Yeah,
Michaela.
he's a doctor that stalks patients, and he has a whole like cottage industry out of it in Lifetime. There's
These are
like 5 or
movies
6.
or a show?
They're movies, but there's
Oh.
like 6 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, Eric Roberts.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Stalked
Good
by
for
my
him.
doctor. Yep.
Good for him.
Stalked by my doctor.
Yeah.
And that's a series? Is it the same
There's
doctor?
several.
Movies.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a
Same
movie.
Yeah, it's
doctor?
movies. It's
Doing the stalking?
yes.
They would have caught him by now.
Hold on, I gotta look up some of the titles of the sequels because they're really
Michaela,
dumb.
how you spend your time? Fascinating.
You love that I bring these nuggets into your
Oh no,
life.
it
I
makes
do.
life
Yeah,
more
yeah.
interesting. Thank you.
This is why we're friends. 'Cause
Yeah, yeah.
I got all excited about that Billy Zane Lifetime movie
Yeah,
a few months
exactly.
back. Which I did watch and it was delightful.
Oh,
Oh my
nice.
God, Eric Roberts still works way too much. I'm still scrolling and it's
Oh, yeah.
2024
He has
still.
worked so
Fuck's
much.
sake.
He is
Maybe he's
just a
getting ready to
machine.
retire.
Yeah.
And he's like,
No, he
I'm
just needs
banking
money.
all this.
He's
stuff.
Well,
just
I
a
mean,
machine.
there's
He's gotta
Like
be
Clint
broke,
Eastwood, he's
right?
going to work until somebody puts him in a box.
he is the best of the best.
Bro.
He is.
His hair
Well,
was.
actually, he's not.
His hair
'Cause
was.
No, he's
No,
not.
they lost.
He's actually
He
not.
lost. They lost.
lost.
Yeah,
They
lost.
gave it away.
I didn't even see the movie and I know they lost.
So while Michaela looks this up,
Oh my
what's
God, it's still going.
so what is the inciting incident that starts the mystery?
So some of our party goers, as they're leaving, we see people walking down a tunnel. We see people making out. So one of the party goers is walking down a tunnel past a couple making out, and in this tunnel, he is attacked.
What is this guy's name? The guy gets attacked?
Crap.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
He's-
don't
oh,
recall
we
because
should-
we
okay,
should
we
remember
should know.
who he is.
I
Should
have,
know.
and the shit part is I have the whole cast here, but I'm like, that's not helping me because I don't
Yeah,
remember.
like this
who's
is the hard
who.
part about giallo movies is this remembering the names of who's
John
who.
Lubbock.
Yeah.
John Lubbock.
Okay,
That's it.
John
All right,
Lubbock.
John
Yes.
Lubbock. He is also a teacher at an elementary school.
Yeah.
No, he's a teacher, supply teacher. He's a substitute.
Yeah, right. Yes. Is that what that means? Supply
Yeah,
teacher?
I think so.
Okay.
So he's clocked over the head by an unknown assailant in a
Mhm.
tunnel,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
and we're like, well, it was neither gory nor a murder,
No.
Right.
but
just
there is a
attacked.
bunch of like, who attacked John Lubbock? And so immediately the editors at the newspaper are like, get our crack alcoholic reporter and put him on the case.
It's the only thing he's good at.
Yeah. And I didn't realize until later on in the movie why this is such a big story. It's because of his fiance.
Who was
His fiance's famous.
Was Isabel?
Isabel.
Okay.
I didn't
She
think
who's
that-
worth millions.
She's like a rich socialite.
Yeah, but
the
was
daughter
that-
of someone.
Yeah.
But wait, whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
That's what I've
why-
been doing this whole movie.
That wasn't his fiance. That was Edward Purdam's fiance, right? Wasn't Edward Purdam was going to marry Isabel, and that's why
Oh.
John Lubbock was staring at them
No.
at the party.
Because Purnham was making out with Isabel at the
Yes.
party, and John Lubbock was staring at
Yes.
them. Right. Because he was shy. He's described as shy and introverted, and he had feelings for her, but she didn't. He wouldn't express them, and something. There was something along
Okay.
there where he's very
Or
introverted, and
did
not-
he?
maybe he did. Did she reject him? I don't.
Okay.
I don't know.
Real
The
tough.
end of this movie has like I don't know.
I'm just trying
like,
to, because the whole time I was trying to figure out why him being attacked in the tunnel was such a big story.
right.
Right. Same.
So I was like, okay, so it's because of her, because she was famous.
I think so. That's gotta be.
But that if it wasn't his fiance, then that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, he wasn't killed. He was just brained
Yeah.
on the head, and
I mean, not to say that an attack isn't a big deal, but
Wait, who found
they
him?
made it a very big
Who
deal.
found him? Who's the guy? Who found him?
Walter found him.
Right, because
Is he
Walter
important? Maybe that's why it's a big story,
Okay,
because
so-
he found
Walter's
him.
a race car driver.
Right. He's
and
speed
he
racer.
was making out with the hooker,
Yeah.
Giselle Suave,
Fucking Christ.
right?
Suave.
And they heard
Julia?
the attack, Julia Suave,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so they raced into the tunnel and saw the assailant run away.
Right.
Okay, I have now seen this movie. Who was the
Who was the assailant? It was
It was Julia's dad.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
which one's Julia's dad?
Julia's the hooker.
The creepy one that was like looking at everyone like from bushes and around the corner and stuff. The creepy dude with the face.
The guy looking like Lon
Wait.
Chaney?
That's
Wait,
the
Yes.
one.
Okay. That's her
the
dad.
one.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Why?
Yeah,
I didn't know that was her dad.
that was her dad.
Ah.
Why did Julia's dad clock John Lubbock over the head?
Julia's dad probably does not like that she's a hooker. I'm getting maybe.
She wasn't with him. She was with Walter,
I don't know.
the race car driver.
Maybe he thinks that.
Are you
they were
just
together.
saying you
no?
think it
I'm
was
no,
Julia's dad?
They say it is. I'm telling you, they say it is.
This is where we're
You
at,
know,
folks.
I found this movie really hard to follow. I know it's
Real hard.
It's hard to believe.
Real hard.
But
That's
got
why I have no
nothing.
answers for your questions.
No.
because
Okay.
I don't
All right.
know.
Well, I don't either.
Because-
I guess that's what
because
I'm
later
asking.
on-
It's like, what?
later on, when Chin is like got him like up against the fence, he's like, "I know you saw him," and he's like, "It was Julia's father. It was Julia's father."
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Beat
He's
the
like, "You
confession.
saw him," and he's like, "I did. It was Julia's father."
Franco Nero beats the confession out of
Yeah.
Walter.
And
at
then
some
later
point.
on, he's arrested because he's a fucking creep.
Yeah.
Wait, so Julia's father is not Italian Eric Roberts?
No, it's Lon Chaney.
Lon Chaney, right? Lon Chaney.
Yeah.
Why?
Not actually Lon Chaney. Just looks like Lon.
No, but he looks like.
And he was
What?
lurking through bushes like a Lon Chaney
He
would.
was.
So.
Did we see Lon Chaney before he was looking through the bushes?
Yes.
We see him
Where?
with the very early on in the movie when Chen goes to her apartment and she's like, "You got to get out of here. My dad's gonna
Yeah,
find you." Her
okay.
dad's like creeping around.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we see him look through the door like, who's my
Oh,
daughter
right.
talking
Okay.
to?
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
All right. You're right. You're right. All right.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Super
Okay.
creep. Yeah.
Now it all makes sense.
I mean, everyone in this is a fucking creep.
Yeah,
Everyone.
Okay, so we've established that
Sure.
the detective, well, he's not a detective,
No,
he's
he's
a
a
reporter,
We've
journalist,
established
yeah.
nothing.
is
And-
like he's
yeah.
trying to figure out, okay, who attacked John Lubbock, who's
Because
alive,
he's important.
and in a neck brace, poor John, you know.
Yeah, neck brace, turtleneck.
Also, this story.
A turtleneck.
Also, he's researching the story for like months.
It seems like it because the attack happens on New
we
Year's.
go to March 13th at a certain point.
Yeah.
we're
this
going.
is like months.
Okay,
Yeah.
because a murder does occur
Finally.
on March 13th.
Thank God.
Okay, so who is killed and how?
Right.
Having a tough time remembering.
So at the party, we have Dr. Benny
Dr. Benny. Yes.
and Dr. Benny's wife.
Yeah, we established they have.
Oh yeah, she's in the wheelchair.
She's in the wheelchair.
Right.
They have a very complicated relationship.
It would appear so.
Because we see them back at their home and he's like acting like her doctor
Yeah.
and not so much husband, but then
He
she's
resents
like
her
mad at.
since she got paralyzed, which
Yeah.
was 2 years earlier. Apparently.
Yeah. Because they like sometimes act like they're married and sometimes act like
Yes.
doctor patient.
She
It's very.
she wants their old life, and it feels like he has moved on.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is
Yeah.
it's not a great set of circumstances between
It's like
them.
she's
But
cold to him, but then we figure out like, oh well, that's why she's cold. To
I think
him.
they're both
So
having a
it's-
hard time dealing with her paralysis. He
Yes.
has checked out. She wants him,
Yeah.
and then because later he says, "I'm tell you the truth, I'm happy she's gone."
Almost word for word.
Almost,
yeah.
yeah,
Almost
that
word
is
for
it.
word. That's
So,
what he
yeah.
says. Yeah.
But so there's moments of passion on her end. She's like, "I want it the way it used to be." Ah,
Yeah.
that's exactly how it went. Trust me.
So yeah, they're back at their like chateau because it's a very fancy
Yeah, it
house.
is nice.
Very
I mean,
fancy house.
doctors,
Again, more
He's a
spiral
doctor,
staircases. A lot of wood, a lot of rich mahogany.
Yeah,
Mm.
lots of rich mahogany. And she says, "Stay with me, stay with me." And he's like, "No, tonight. I'm gonna go." And
Well, he gets a call
He gets
for
a call.
patient,
Right.
Yeah.
which we find out later didn't exist. It was a
Right.
fake call to get him out of the house.
So he leaves her alone with the cat,
Yep.
and
The cat that sits in her wheelchair.
the cat
It's
sits in her
adorable.
wheelchair. And then we get a really long scene of her falling out of the bed
Right.
and
Yep.
Because the
and,
lights
like,
go out.
pulling
she
herself
panics.
around the room.
Yeah.
Mhm.
and
Ricardo!
her wheelchair, she tries to grab it, and it just wheels out of the room.
Yeah.
And then when she
It
goes
wheels out of existence.
yeah, she goes after it, like, where did it go? And then the phone's ringing, and when she goes to the phone, like, the phone's not there anymore.
Yeah.
There's clearly someone in the house.
Yeah, it's just the cat.
You know, this scene got my hopes up that we were going to have like a torso, like the key under the door type
Yeah.
scene. And they squandered this opportunity entirely and did nothing with it. And
agree.
like this is a really cool way to build tension. Like, oh
Yeah.
shit, she's paralyzed. Her husband is in dick, so he's not going to help her, and her wheelchair scooted away.
Right.
Like, fuck, you know?
Well,
Yeah.
okay,
Right.
so I
Yeah.
guess that's the thing. I mean, these movies are, they're murder mysteries, but also suspense thrillers, right? So how did director Luigi Barzoni,
Bazzoni.
how did he do with the I mean, was it a suspenseful scene?
No, it went
No.
on too long. Like
It went
Holly
on
said.
so long.
A lot of crawling around. The music doesn't
Yeah.
kind
Like
of
we're watching
back it
her
up.
pull herself across the floor in real time.
Yep.
There
Yeah.
was-
it's-
because it
yeah.
hasn't established like a threat. We know
Right.
there's someone in the house, but I
Right.
don't know, like, is something going to happen to her right,
Right.
now?
Yeah.
She has all the time in the world to crawl around.
Right.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
like
she's not
and
crawling away from anything.
Right.
yeah.
And then the
Yeah.
phone starts ringing and she's like pulling herself towards the phone. Once she gets there, the phone's gone. It's just, I don't know
Mhm.
why we needed that like red herring situation. I don't know.
Yeah. Ultimately, she is murdered. She's strangled and then thrown over
Yeah.
down the spiral staircase.
Yep.
And then
And I agree with Michaela. I feel like they could have done so much more with this.
yeah.
This
Yep.
And
scenario.
so this, we talk about other giallo movies have like
We're used
a
to the stalking of the American slasher, where
Mhm.
somebody
Yeah.
would, be on the ground and there'd be somebody walking.
and because
after
when
her.
we've done like the on-brand giallo movies, the Dario Argento one,
This is
it's
great
like
value, giallo.
Yes.
they have like a punctuation in these murder scenes,
Yeah.
and this one doesn't have it. So then it's
Right.
like, okay, there's a clue that's left at the scene
The glove,
the glove. That's right.
minus a finger.
because
Yeah.
Black Glove Killer in a
Yes.
giallo movie. Although I don't think we ever see.
No, it does
No.
not come
No.
back again. We hear about it that it has, but we don't
Yeah.
see it. Like,
Right.
it's not. That should be a recurring element.
And the killer's wearing rubber gloves.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, the yellow latex rubber gloves,
Yeah.
which are just gross.
Yeah.
Like, it just
Right.
seems gross when they're that yellow and just.
But there is a black glove found at the scene with the thumb cut off,
Yeah.
and the detective
Almost
on this case.
immediately understands that.
I think there might be 4 more victims. It's like, whoa, all right, this guy's on it. Like,
Yeah.
this should be figured out tomorrow.
All right,
Like, he's
Wow.
got it. Yeah.
Where was this
No
guy for
wonder why you're a
Zodiac?
detective.
Right.
You're very good at your job.
My God.
so okay, so then all right,
And then we never see
so
the glove
we're
again.
within like 20 minutes, and we're like, okay, we can kind of see what the trajectory of this movie is going to be. There's going to
Can
be
we?
5 murders.
Nope.
Right?
Not.
Well, there'll be 5 murders, you know
Sure,
that,
sure,
and then
yeah.
the subplots involve Franco Nero's
I feel like this
personal life.
movie is just mostly subplots.
Okay,
right?
so what are
True.
the subplots
Oh, don't
involving
ask
Franco
me.
Nero? What's he got going on?
Sexual subplots.
Well, I mean, he has a girlfriend.
Okay, so
Lou.
even though we're seeing him pining after Helene,
Yeah.
who looks like
Sophia Loren. She's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
lover.
she
She can pull off a leopard coat like you wouldn't
Mhm.
believe.
Oh, yeah.
It's gorgeous. Yeah.
but he also that night apparently that he was like, Helene, I need you back. He goes home and
Mhm.
wakes up, and there's this blonde woman
hmm
Yeah.
in his apartment. She's the maid.
She's a student, and I think maybe she does stuff for him, like sexually and probably just like chores.
Okay,
I think it's like just a kept girlfriend kind of situation.
because they have a very casual relationship. Like if you want to go
Right.
out and see
Right,
other
yeah,
people,
like you are free to come and go as you please.
Yeah.
This is not. I'm not keeping you here.
you ask me no questions and I'll tell you no
Right,
lies.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
So they have this mutual thing together, but they're also just like, well, we have our separate lives, so
so I guess there's dramatic tension there. Where like, is he going to end up with her, or is he going to get Helene?
She does get slapped
back?
around a little bit, so there's a little bit of dramatic.
Well, okay, so there's a scene later on, right, where why'd he slap her?
Well, he sees her in a car with another man.
Okay.
And
this
then-
is the stair beach.
Right. Yeah. The stair beach. Yes.
Stair beach.
Yeah.
But again, another shot that was really great.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's like, how do you not notice there's a man tracking you down when you drive away from Stair Beach and he's the only one on the stairs?
It's like
as filmed in this movie.
it's a wall of stairs that
It's like
fills
a-
the entire frame.
Right.
Like,
It's a pyramid.
Yeah, I was like, it's like Giza. It's like
Yeah.
insane. Yeah.
I'm sure there's a nice art museum at the top of this.
Right.
that you run up to.
Like
it feels like, or a Capitol building.
Rocky would run the shit out of these
Run the
stairs.
Yeah.
Very tired by the time you get to the top.
But yeah, he sees her get in a car with another man, and then he goes home, and
It's
then
my brother, you asshole.
She shows up, and he's immediately like yelling at her, "You're with another man. Who the fuck was that?" And
He's
she's
got
like,
strong feelings for a relationship that he sees
Yeah.
as like
Yeah,
coming
Right.
to go.
yeah.
"Yeah, well, I mean,
Well,
that's
yeah.
pretty standard.
It's complicated.
That's pretty standard."
Yeah.
But he slaps her around because.
Yeah,
So you're not car with another man.
yeah. He slaps her, and then she's like, "It's my brother." And he's like, "Oh, okay."
Then he's like, "You're pathetic."
He's
And
like,
I'm still
no, he's
leaving
like,
the
"Oh,
apartment.
I need to go to my
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he goes to his
While
car.
he's gone.
This felt like there should have been a scene in between. I
Yes.
felt like he went somewhere, came back later, and then.
But the edit is, he storms out of the apartment. There's a shot of him at his car getting his briefcase. Then he comes back to the apartment and he's like, "Lou, are you home?" And we're like, "What the?" And then
She's laying sprawled out across the bed with blood on her neck.
we're like, "Oh no, you got to stop walking into crime scenes, guy."
he does not. She's alive.
She's alive. It was a joke.
This is a joke between
It was a joke. Because then
This is
they.
This is their
foreplay.
relationship.
Yeah,
yes.
because then they wrestle around and chase each other, and sexy time ensues.
Yep. Exactly. As you do.
Wild.
I mean, I do.
Right.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, you are Italian.
All right, so tell me about. I mean, I know there's probably another murder in here. Well, yeah, there is.
Yes, the murder.
It's probably another
Let's not
murder.
forget the
We
murder.
assume there's got to be 4 more, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's
So we're told.
let's get into murder number 2 before we move
Right.
on to who is her brother.
So the next murder. Well, we go to work with him, right?
Yep.
We go to work with Franco Nero, and there's a lot of work drama that we're just quickly filled in on.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really make sense. But apparently he's been like chasing the story for months, which
Yeah.
again, I don't know why. Some
I
random
like that you only have one story you have to write as a reporter.
Right?
You do it over months.
one guy was attacked.
Hey, Colin, how did that feel?
It's
Did that feel like a
it's
personal
long
attack?
lead story. Yeah.
But it was
like,
one guy was attacked in a tunnel, and he chases that, and
Yeah,
then it's linked to the.
But now they're
Yeah.
calling it the tunnel killer is
Yeah.
going after with the glove.
yeah, now it's linked to the doctor's wife.
Yep.
But the story was taken from him and given to someone else. Because there's Traversy, yeah.
Yeah. Who is what's he in charge of?
I thought he
The
was
story?
his editor,
He's
but
his
then
boss, maybe
we're
it's
introduced
like-
to a different guy who I thought was his
Okay,
boss.
no, there's the big newspaper, which is the main editor, who's the guy who says you're off the case.
Yeah.
You're off the
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
And then there's like Traversy is like the Metro editor.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
this section of the newspaper is mine, which is what you work under, and
Yeah.
now it's taken away from you. It's going back to me. So his boss.
Yeah.
And so Franco Nero
And he's like,
storms
"You're mean.
in.
You're slimy."
Yeah, and there's like
You're
he-
about to die of a heart attack at any second because he's constantly sweating
Yeah.
and like has acid reflux. It just feels like he's having a heart attack.
He doesn't. He can't breathe.
He can't
Yeah.
breathe.
He can't breathe.
He does not get slapped around, but it felt scene felt like Franco Nero wanted to
Right,
slap
yes.
him around. And
I'm surprised
the
someone
slapping
didn't.
will come.
I'm surprised someone didn't get slapped to death in this. Honestly,
What's
To be
almost
real.
does.
I mean, really,
Speed
'cause
Racer almost gets slapped to death.
I was kind of shocked by Traversy's death.
yeah, so how does he? How does the killer kill him?
He's like walking home through the park, and the killer is clearly stalking him through the bushes. Traversy, like stalking, and he starts to get all riled up, and he's trying to like walk fast, and he can't. Like he already can't breathe just
Yeah,
sitting
he
at his
can't
desk,
breathe.
and now he's getting all worked up, and it's getting worse and worse.
Yeah, this guy's
And-
always in the
yeah.
middle of a heart attack.
Always. And then the killer like pops out of the bushes and flashes a knife at him,
Yep.
and he starts running as best he can
Yep.
through the hedges, and literally keels over and dies of a heart attack from fear.
From fear, which is deduced by the detectives later on.
Yeah,
Yes.
but how? Like,
How?
But how do
Yes.
you tie
Excellent
this?
question.
The fear. Where's the fear? Heart attack, sure. Where's the
Yeah.
fear part come in?
Right.
No.
Okay,
Because of the glove.
There you go.
The glove.
There's
Okay.
another
There's
glove.
another glove
But
with
we
another
don't see
finger
it. It
cut
is just
off.
mentioned. It
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
would be helpful for this movie if it showed it
Yeah.
minus
Like-
fingers as we went along.
Show him fall with his eyes open so we know he's dead,
Drop a glove
and
on
then drop a glove
Just
next
drop
to
a
him.
glove on it.
Exactly.
That's all you
That's
gotta do.
all you needed to do.
Yeah.
That's it.
Fucking lazy Italians.
So this has been now connected to the tunnel killer.
Correct.
Yes.
Right. Still tunnel killer, even though,
Even though no
our
one
dude
died in
is
the tunnel.
still alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, John Lubbock, right.
But-
still alive.
Right.
Ultimately, it will end up that way.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
there's okay, so anyway, we've established that because we're like, okay, at this point, like who of our suspects,
Who's who?
right?
Right.
How are these people
How are they
connected,
connected?
and what? And so
Like-
Franco Nero,
The doctor's got to connect them, right?
Dr. Beanie. Is
Dr.
the big
Beanie's
connector.
has got to connect them.
so he trails Dr.
Trails
Beanie,
Dr. Beanie.
and Dr. Beanie is seen giving money to who we later learn is Walter Lou's brother, the racer,
The
speed
racer.
racer.
Yeah, Speed Racer. He's Speed
And they
Racer.
go into a swanky house.
Okay, what happens there? Because Franco Nero tails him to
You
see
would know it
what's
from the
up.
outside of the swanky house.
No,
but
it looks like an abandoned like
It
ruin.
it does. It really
but
does.
then inside it's like a hookah lounge.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It is. It's very nice.
Yes. And there's a lot of random people just laying around on pillows with dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, but there's some people that we have seen are
Yeah.
are suspects.
yes, the doctor is there.
Yeah.
The guy with
Italian Eric Roberts.
Italian, thank you,
Yeah.
Italian Eric Roberts is there. And we see Walter and Julia,
Julia. Yes.
Julia, the
the
prostitute.
prostitute, yeah,
Yep.
who are both naked and about to have sexy time in front of a group of people.
Who are filming.
Mm-hmm.
With
Filming,
an
watching.
8mm
Yeah.
camera.
Yep, Dr. Beanie.
So they're just all watching.
So just a voyeur party.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a voyeur
Like you
party.
They just get around, get together, and like, okay, we're gonna pay you guys.
Yeah.
Get it on, and we'll just watch.
You're putting that in there, the pay part.
Well, they did because Beanie gave him the money.
Those are, you don't know those are connected.
Beanie was at the party.
What do
Isn't
you-
Beanie paying him to come to the party?
Like,
Yeah.
you're just talking about the interaction where Nero was spying on them and he gave him money?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You have no idea what that money is for, my friend. You are making conjectures. You cannot. You're writing checks your ass can't cash.
Okay.
Sean is taking up public defending these sex workers, apparently.
It's like you can't
Yeah,
prove that.
Oh, this was on the up and up. You can't prove that.
You
All
should
right.
watch Juror number 2.
Oh, all right. There we go. There's your recommendation for juror number 2.
So at this point, as astute movie detectives that we are, we're like,
Trying.
okay, there's some connection between all these men, which is this party, but
Right.
like, what connection do we have with the victims so
Right.
far?
Right.
Because we have Beanie's wife, and he's here at this party,
Mm-hmm.
and we have the editor of the newspaper,
Mm-hmm.
who's not connected to anybody at the party, except I guess Franco Nero is
They are
watching through the window.
All connecting to Franco Nero. Whether he works with them, knows them, or he's just walking in on bodies.
Which of course makes him a suspect.
Yes.
The police are like, "What are you? You're the only one who doesn't have an
Right.
alibi."
Which they,
so-
yeah, they talk about up front. And it's like, I am a suspect. And yeah, there are conversations about that.
Mm-hmm. There's even the scene when he asks Helene, like, well, who would do this? And she's like, well, you.
Yeah. It's like, that's right up your alley. Yeah. You have the motive.
Is this when he reconciles with Helene? I know audience members,
Does he reconcile?
were well. There's a scene in a car. He shows up and he's like, "Everything's going to shit, and the police want me, and I just need to talk." Oh, because he finds a murder victim,
Which one?
number 3.
Right.
Right.
Dude in the Park was number 2. Who's number 3? Oh, when he goes to the hotel.
Yep.
Isabel.
The bathtub.
Because
Right.
Isabel,
Isabel was at the
Mhm.
funeral for
who's
the editor.
Isabel?
She's the wife of the
Fiancé.
millionaire fiance of.
Okay, we
She's-
talked about her before.
She's an heiress.
Yeah.
So she's like a rich socialite,
Yeah.
and she's engaged to
Purdom,
Purdom.
Italian Eric Roberts.
but
Yeah.
Lubbock.
Had eyes for her.
Okay,
Yes.
Right.
so she's like, "I need to talk to you." To the journalist,
Yeah.
right. Come to my apartment. Oh, and
Okay.
She's the one
She said
that
that.
she turned and she had the amazing sunglasses.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yes.
and we
Beautiful.
also at this point learn that Lou, the side piece, she's breaking up with the journalist because
Right.
she's getting married.
Yeah,
Okay.
and wearing Liza Minnelli wigs.
Because we were like,
Apparently, yeah.
maybe it's Lou.
Right,
doing it
we're-
because her
we're all-
brother's
Shout out Lou.
connected.
We're
Couple
all like,
times.
it's got to be Lou, right? Because who the fuck else is it going to be?
Right, she did fall into the
Right.
major suspect list there
Yeah.
for a minute.
So anyway, he goes to Isabel to meet her at the Grand Hotel,
Mhm.
and what happened?
She's drowned in a tub.
Yep,
She's
dead in
gone.
the bathtub.
And there's a cigarette smoldering in the ashtray. So this just happened.
Just
so
happened.
he's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here because he keeps walking into these crime scenes. And I think that's when he goes to Helene and they make out in the car. And then she's
Yeah.
like, "Call me later."
And like I
Right.
said, I don't think it's like a reconciliation situation with him. I really do think it was just, she's like, you're an alcoholic. I'm going to marry this guy because he's rich. Like, this is what it is. Like,
Right.
I think they never stopped loving each other.
Right, no, she's like, I still
It
love you,
just-
but this
yeah.
is just best for me, and this is what
Yeah.
I got to do. And
Yeah.
let's mush faces together. I'm sorry, the making out in this movie is ridiculous.
It's like aggressive. Yeah.
It's like, I'm divorcing my husband because you're the only one I've ever wanted to smush faces with.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so this, I think, Nero goes home and then starts. Is this when he starts like putting it together? He's like, okay, I got to figure out who the killer is.
Yeah, because there's. Is this when he figures out the Tuesdays the day?
Tuesday's part. Yeah. Oh, where he goes to the library and he opens up every newspaper thing and he goes from station to station reading the dates on everything.
Yeah, and he's like, but wait a second. The tunnel thing happened on a Monday.
It did.
Oh,
this is
because-
where we started putting together.
That's-
Like,
Yeah.
all right, everything else is a Tuesday. The tunnel happened on the Monday. It doesn't fit. Why?
Mm-hmm.
After the slap fest with Walter, he gets
He
out.
does. He does. He
Right.
slaps the shit out of Speed Racer a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's like, who attacked John Lubbock?
Wait,
And it was
was
him.
There's one more we're missing, probably.
the prostitute dies.
Yes.
Wait
Oh, yeah.
a
Hooker fire.
Yep, hooker
Oh,
fire.
shit.
Hooker
Fire,
fire.
yeah.
Yep, hooker fire. And this is also when her dad gets arrested.
Okay, tell me
Yeah.
about the hooker fire.
Right.
So
Lon Chaney's spying on his daughter being a hooker.
yes,
And they work under an underpass. Like,
Yes,
they're,
her
that's her.
area.
That's her.
yeah, it's her corner.
Yeah, it's her corner. Yeah.
And it's very
All
cold
these
on this
Italian
corner.
movies have Hooker Alley, which
Yeah.
is it's like a tree lined street.
Yes.
That's just where the hookers hang out.
Yeah, but I love the line when he's like, "I'm looking for Julia," and she was like, "It's too early for her, but I can do what she does."
Yeah,
Ain't the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, nah.
Like, I love it. It's great.
But Julia is with a John, like
She
back
is.
under the underpass.
Yeah, by the hooker fire.
So there's a fire. This where we're talking about.
It's a bonfire under a bridge that we're calling a hooker fire.
Yeah, because we're like, well, who started the fire? And then Julia comes up to it, and
We
she's
didn't.
like,
She tends to it. Yeah.
yeah.
She does tend to it.
Yeah.
so we're like,
okay,
it's
it
the
is
hooker
the
fire.
hooker
Like
fire.
someone started, and they all just kind of like take turns.
It's their
throwing on
break
there.
room.
Yeah,
You know?
yes, that's their water cooler. Yeah,
It is. It is
Yeah.
the break room.
Yeah.
100%.
There's worse places to do your flesh peddling than on the beach. You know, it could
Right,
be worse.
yeah.
You know, like we saw that Dungy Alley earlier. That
Yeah.
was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh no, I don't want to fuck here. This is
No.
gross.
Yeah.
No.
so
So there was spying upon spying.
that's
Yes.
right.
Scene.
'Cause-
Right.
Yeah,
The
which-
killer is because the killer is
always
spying
funny.
on Julia's dad spying on her.
Yeah.
Always get laughs out. It gets a laugh out of me. You zoom out and there's someone behind them spying on them. Oh my god.
Well, it was an interesting sequence, I guess, because I was kind of like, well, who is going to be the victim here? I guess it's like the girl is going to be the victim,
Right.
but I was like, is the killer after Julia's dad? Like I was thinking that for a little bit.
Mhm.
Because I thought, or the John, because I'm like, was he at the part? Like, I can't remember, like, who. And then you're like, okay, obviously he's after Julia, who's.
ultimately you have to ask who's closer to Franco Nero as a motivation, right?
Mhm.
Isn't that
And
where we're at
Julia's not at all. I mean, he went to her house and questioned her. I guess he's
Yeah.
seen her in
Maybe that's it.
flagrante
Like because he
delicto.
went there, he made her the next victim.
Okay. True.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Okay.
Can't.
You're not wrong.
So she becomes the next victim.
Because I mean, realistically, at one point, Nero gets a phone call, and they basically, and it's the killer basically saying like, "Stay out of this. It's
Right, it's
nothing
very
to do
true.
with you." And it's true.
That's true.
It had nothing to do with him, and he should
Very
have stayed
true.
out of it.
This is 100% his fault that he becomes a suspect within this.
Literally has nothing to do with him.
Very true.
So, because I thought, right? Okay, so
What did you?
So
wonder
that
when
was
it came?
all right. So that was what was established in the beatdown of Walter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who attacked John Lubbock? It was Julia's dad. Well, then he's the tunnel killer who's been killing all these people. It can't be because they always happen on a Tuesday, and he is a trucker, and he's not there on a
He's
Tuesday.
always gone on Tuesday.
And so, or the last one happened on a Tuesday, and so Franco Nero is like wakes up in the middle of the night. He's like, Tuesdays. And then rushes to the archive and starts going through everything.
It's Tuesday.
They're all killed on a Tuesday, and he deduces from this.
Because Tuesday is the sign of Aries. That's important.
This fell flat for me.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really
I didn't
add
get it.
anything.
No.
I don't think
Yeah.
it really adds to the killer's motivation.
I guess you have to know a lot about astrology.
Well, only at the
okay,
end,
so
it's
Mercury
like,
was in retrograde and somebody went nuts, is what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Tuesday's the day of the Aries. I don't know. I don't
and
fucking know.
Aries
Doesn't
is
matter,
the
doesn't-
god of, it's Mars, the god of war, and
Doesn't matter.
Whatever.
So the killer was born, and okay, so
Bullshit, Colin.
all right. Well, no, that's what they say it in the
Well,
movie,
I
but it's
agree,
still like,
but it doesn't have much
whatever.
effect, if any, on whatever happened in this movie. Does not matter.
No.
Because this is a different reason for what is happening.
so Helene,
Yes.
right? Who I don't know
Oh
if
yeah,
we've
who leaves
established.
her child alone.
She has a child with the guy who isn't Franco Nero.
Right.
Leaves her kid at the house, and then the power goes out, and she's on the phone. She's like, "I'm flying back tonight, and you gotta close all the windows."
Right. Where's Elsa? Elsa Immerman.
Right. The
Oh, she went to pick you up at the airport. What?
Dun,
Somebody
dun,
called.
dun.
Who called?
No.
And so a child is in danger.
yeah, and we're like, "What connection? Who could this be? Who's trying to kill the kid?"
Right. After the kid goes through and closes every door. The garden door is open, by the way, but he closes it, locks it, and then he shuts every automatic blind in the house, this beautiful house.
Yeah.
And he's like, Mommy.
Automatic blackout shades. It's
Yep.
great.
Yep. And so there's then a very tense and suspenseful sequence.
A chase down a very narrow corridor that leads
There's
to
a-
nothing.
Yeah, there's a weird tunnel in this
Weird
house.
tunnel. Like they were building towards something and then just
Like, is
gave
it
up.
like a fallout shelter?
It felt like it, right?
Something, yeah.
Like
It
they're
was
on they're on their way to build that.
It's like a concrete tunnel.
Yeah, because
it's-
it goes
very-
nowhere.
Nowhere.
We've
No.
established
Yeah.
no doors. It's just, and the
No.
kid goes down there and is pursued by the
A
killer.
masked glove killer, yes.
And we're like, oh shit,
Oh,
this
shit.
kid's number's up. But then
Franco Nero shows up.
because
He knew it was a Tuesday.
and he deduced that
Right.
the kid was going to be a victim
How?
How?
because Helene said it was a Tuesday.
Tuesdays.
Nothing ever happens on a Tuesday or
Nothing
something.
good.
She was
Nothing-
leaving town. Or,
Nothing good happened. That's it?
That's it.
and he was
Yeah,
like,
okay.
shit, she's the next victim. Well,
That's
because probably he was going off of your theory that, like, it's all me making these people victims, and
Okay.
I've made her a victim, and the killer's going to kill her or at least be in her house.
That's possible.
And so he speeds over to the house and finds the killer, and then there is a
thin.
chase scene that happens.
There is.
A foot
yeah,
chase.
it's the chasing from Seven, basically. I like this. This is very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good
I
ending.
was- it was
to the movie.
surprising.
It's through like a warehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he chases that killer like all, but I mean,
yeah.
it is like
Yeah.
it is the John Doe chase. They go out the window and
Through
down the-
buildings, they're jumping
Yeah.
over railings. They go outside the building. They're swinging on
On the
pipes
rooftops
and
and-
everything.
yeah.
Fire escapes
It's great.
through, like bashing heads through windows. It's a good fight.
I
It's a
was
good chase.
surprised that this movie had it in it.
Right.
It looks like they were waiting for this.
Yeah.
Because it's very good, and
Yeah.
there's a fight, and pipes are let loose to tumble onto the good guy. Eventually, there's a fight in like the dock, the bay for in the middle of all that, and he gets knocked off the side of the building. Is
Yep.
that
He
the killer?
throws him off the side of the building.
Yes.
And we're like, oh no. And Franco Nero goes down there exhausted, like grabs the mask and rips it off. And oh my God, the killer is
That guy,
Lubbock.
John Lubbock.
Mhm.
The victim from the tunnel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
tunnel victim who got beat up by Julia's dad.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, by Lon Chaney.
And we're like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, explain to me
Now,
the.
Colin, did you see a giveaway moment as giallos do early in the movie?
Okay,
Right? If
so
you did, I
now
missed it.
looking back, right? Because
Okay.
this is the
The leather jacket may have been the only giveaway.
No. This is a scene. This is how you deduce the
Okay.
killer in
Okay.
these movies.
Before you say that, I want to say one of my favorite lines in this movie is the voiceover of Franco Nero saying, "As I suspected."
Yes.
Right. As I thought all along, it was this man. And we're all going,
Never said that. You never said a goddamn word about it.
no clue until you took that mask off.
Yep.
You were surprised
Nobody
the
knew.
rest of us.
Don't Scooby-Doo this shit.
No,
No.
not
You
at all.
didn't know.
It was very funny.
Well, okay, here
Okay,
it is.
what was the
I
giveaway?
think
What was
maybe
the
we've
giveaway?
talked about this before, but the way that you can deduce who the killer is, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's always a scene, and this one, I guess, did have it,
Okay.
where a character who could be a suspect is removed from your mind as being a suspect because they're a victim, but they
Right,
don't
right,
actually get killed. Or, you know,
Okay.
it's a scene where, like, you know, the girl's in the house and there's the shadow under the door and she has to call somebody and whatever. She's the killer because she didn't get killed. Every other girl gets killed, but not her.
Right.
And she's the one. Yeah.
John was a victim, but doesn't die.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
got it.
Lou
Scott Foley ends up in a
also.
coffin.
Yeah, Lou also could have been.
Right, because
Yeah.
there was that scene where it's like, oh no, she's been a victim of the. You know,
Yeah.
you see
Right.
her with their throat cut or the fake blood,
Right.
and it's like that they're doing it
That
right
fake
there.
out- yeah, that could have been
That's
it,
the
yeah.
fake out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's connected to Walter and she's connected to Nero. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But what was John Lubbock's motive?
His motive was he wanted to kill Isabel because she rejected him.
And then everything around him
And yeah, it was just like to throw people
was
off.
to cover that
Yeah.
up.
See, I got a different read on this because I
for
guess what the detective said, it's like he wasn't actually going after Isabel. It was Purdom because he was like, he had followed Purdom for like so long. So I'm like, are they gay or something? And like he killed Isabel to hurt the other guy.
Nope, I don't follow that one.
I thought they actually said
No,
something.
I thought he
to that
said
effect.
it was just to kill Isabel.
Well, yeah, he wanted to kill her, but I think in order to harm the other dude, like that was his target. Was I'm going to kill her because she's taking the other guy away from me.
I got none of that.
I didn't
Okay.
get that.
It's the 70s.
Could be
That was all.
valid as far as this movie goes, but I got none of that.
So she was the only actual intended victim.
Right. Everyone.
This is
I will
what
murder
Franco
to
Nero's-
cover up a murder.
Yeah, everyone else was
I
just.
will murder 4 other people to cover up a murder
And he chose the other 4 victims.
because I'm based on Franco Nero, right?
I think it's Franco
Just-
Nero,
just
like
the-
went because he was investigating and
Yeah.
he's like, okay, I'm going to go after these people.
That's why he was like, "Stop investigating! You're making me kill extra people."
yeah. I don't want to kill extra people.
There's one person. Like, you're making me do this.
Right.
At the
I could get
beginning,
away-
he says he's like chosen 4
Yeah.
people. Like his whole like thing.
He
on
does. He
tape.
does. Right. That audio recording does go against.
And I think he chose the doctor's wife out of like mercy. If we're being honest.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Like, she's a paraplegic. She's in this awful marriage. He knows that her husband actually doesn't like her at all anymore. Like, I think he was like,
This will be better for you.
I'm going to free you from this.
Well,
Wow.
he keeps saying stuff like, you know, I'm like
He does feel
freeing
that way,
these
though.
people
Yeah,
from.
I think that's
yeah.
what his viewpoint is.
You know, he is freeing these people who have no other. Right. This would be the best for them is death.
Yeah.
And
him, so he is
you
a
know, and
psycho.
now that we're looking at it, I do understand Traversy too, because he was already like in the midst of a heart attack constantly.
Right.
So just put him
Yeah.
out of his misery.
But why the kid? And why the hooker?
Yeah, why the kid?
Well, I mean, no one wants to be a hooker. That's not a good life. And the kid doesn't have parents. He's always alone.
Easy target.
Mhm. He's putting these people out of their misery.
There.
The kid be easy target just to hurt Nero. I think. Again, just on that line. I
Maybe.
keep calling him Nero. What's his name in the movie?
Oh,
Andrea
Andrea.
Bill.
Andrea. Yeah.
Andrea.
It's a perplexing one.
Build.
Mhm.
Yeah, truly.
Yep.
Truly.
And then it's like end. Get out. You're
Yep.
done. You know. Okay.
Yeah. Pulitzer for you and we'll
Yeah. Not written by Ernesto Gastaldi.
No, unfortunately not.
You're
We love
okay.
you, Ernesto.
Forever.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
All right. So I guess that is the 5th chord.
Yeah, that come we didn't know nothing
Yep.
on the 5th chord.
No, nothing.
Okay.
No.
I don't get the title.
Nope.
Okay.
All right. So now we're going to go around the table and tell you whether or not you should watch the 5th chord. But first, ladies and germs, we're going to read some of your mail. And in order to do that, we're going to have to summon our mailman, Igor. Bring us the mail.
Masters, the mail. I've got the mail. So many letters. Our followers are rising.
Why, thank you, Igor. Black
I would
Blood
like to
and-
hear Igor come up with a title for a giallo movie.
Ooh, that'd be good.
Give him some homework for next week.
Igor, what do you got?
Yeah.
Next week, give us
Yep.
something good.
color, animal, number,
Yep.
and what's the
Color and animal is good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Number.
The more it sounds like a haiku, the better.
Yeah.
Put some commas in there if you're not sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Just
well,
keep going with it. If you're not sure, add more words.
Yeah, add more.
Yeah.
Until it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
well, we should
And
let
then
the
take out 2 key ones.
Yep. Yep.
That's your time.
Yep.
So, you good folks at home, this is how you can participate on this interactive portion of our show by following along on Facebook
Facebook.com/IFreakShow.
or X
At Sat Freak Show.
or by email
SaturdayFreakShow@yahoo.com.
or on Threads or Instagram at Saturday Night Freak Show. About tonight's movie, The Fifth Chord, Mark Harrison writes in and said, did anyone else not realize what was happening in this film?
Yes.
You just explained the last hour.
Still don't.
Sir.
Yeah.
You just that
I'm
was
not entirely sure.
that was our wrap up.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure of the conclusions we came to tonight.
It's
Mike,
like you were here with us.
there you go. Michael Whitaker says, unfortunately, I have something of a blind spot for giallos, which honestly, until I started listening to this podcast, would never have thought or would have thought was some kind of dessert. There's always room for giallo. I did find out this stars Franco Nero, who's in the original Django, so that's cool.
That is cool.
You know, if you want to get started in giallos, you can start with the American one called I Know Who Killed Me. And that'll be a great starting point for you.
I also did not know about giallos until I came to this basement.
Oh, of course.
And there you go. Now you're bringing them to the.
Now I'm
This is
bringing
such a
them.
proud
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
Even though,
You raised me right.
Novato Judoka says, I don't know about anyone else, but this is one of those movies that made me say, damn, I need to buy a detective jacket.
Yeah.
Right?
The fashion
Oh.
is so fucking good, man.
Might be the best part. is
This
just the
movie
fashion.
made me really happy I own a trench coat.
Yeah.
Last week we watched a movie called The Cat. Neil Coppola wrote in and said, I just finished watching this.
Yes.
I'm usually not one who's at a loss for words, but there is just no way I can explain what the heck I just watched.
Yep.
How the heck does anyone think up movies like this?
Yeah. Seriously.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
Hell of a drug.
Yeah.
Was that based on a...
Based on a
Comic-
novel called Old Cat.
Oh, that's right. We
A
established that
novel.
the
Okay.
Wisely series.
Like a graphic novel or just a novel?
Just a novel.
Okay.
Just a novel. I don't know how. It could be a very short novel. I don't know. But it's based on a novel, Old Cat.
And the week before, we watched a movie called Deranged, and Michael Klodarczyk, sorry if I just butchered your name, said, Les Carlson, who we said was the journalist who appears in that movie, was also the doctor who was going to give Gina Davis an abortion in The Fly.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah,
That's
he's
crazy.
like in a bunch of Cronenberg movies and like the Bob Clark movies because he was in
Cool.
Black Christmas, we
Yeah.
said, and
Right,
Christmas
right.
Story. He's the guy
Yeah.
who sells the tree.
Oh, he sells
Yes,
the Christmas
yeah.
tree. Yeah.
So Les Carlson, there you
Well,
go.
there we go.
Well, thank you,
Throw
each
the
of
rope
you.
tied to your car for you.
Well, we appreciate you all writing in. Thank you very much.
Indeed, thank you. I'm glad somebody watched that. The Cat.
Right.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
They
very
went to
much.
the Daily Motion link.
Yeah. You did work, my friend. Thank you.
That's right. You got to listen to that episode. That was a wild one.
Yes.
All right, now we're going to go around the table and tell you what we thought of The Fifth Chord, starting with
Colin, what do you think of The Fifth Chord?
not my first time seeing The Fifth Chord,
Is it your
but
last
it
time?
was basically like seeing it from.
It's kind of your first time.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I was
feel
telling,
like you get that a lot watching this movie. It's like it feels like the first time
Yeah.
every time.
but I think I was telling you guys, it's like I sat, when I was on a giallo kick, once you get that flavor and you're like, I want more of it, and so you're just like spoon feeding giallo. And I watched a bunch of them probably in too close of a time span, and so that makes them all kind of run together. There's some that set pieces or faces or situations that stand out, but a lot of them kind of do blur unless you go for the on brand ones. Like I said, it's Dario Argento is the king of this stuff because his are the best ones. But I think, if it's not a Dario Argento, Sergio Martino, Lucio Fulci, or written by Ernesto Gastaldi, it's like they start to, there's some here or there, but this one was, I guess, boring is the way to, like, okay, it functioned as an okay, like, detective story, where it's just red herring, and then it's this guy did it, and then it's for some motive that you're like, okay, we just made that up like at the end, but it did have, the photography. Is it's like
good
one of
photography,
one of the better looking giallo movies. So like, you're a student of cinematography, you like, Italian architecture, fashion, and photography. This one looks pretty good. And then, obviously he went on to win Academy Awards after it. It's got Franco Nero in it, who has a presence, I guess, that I kind of like in movies, like a swagger or something. And I haven't seen enough of his stuff, but I mean, I like Street Law. You should go back Street Law.
Street Law.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Django, obviously if you haven't seen Django. But overall, I guess, I'm kind of disappointed in the fifth chord because I think, again, tomorrow I will
I've forgotten it.
Yeah, I've forgotten.
It's already exiting now.
Yep. I
Anything
couldn't
about
describe
this
it
movie.
to a person who walked down here right now.
Yeah, it needed that. I think we were talking before, like, I know that there's people who, detractors of, the brutal, violent or the gory stuff that happens in like the Argento movies or the De Palma, stuff.
But
those give it gives the movie a spice, or a punch and impact. And that's why you remember them. And this doesn't have that. And, I guess, it's not a terrible movie.
No,
but it's not remarkable.
It's a sleepy movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a bunch of other stuff I could recommend. So I guess I'm going to pass on the fifth chord. Michaela, what'd you think?
I feel like I can forgive a lot as long as you give me like spectacle and pageantry, right? Like, like talking about the better ones that make a bigger impact, like opera. When I think of opera, I think of two things. I think of the needles in the eyes, and I think of the guy Spartan kicking open the Raven cage on stage in the third act. Like,
but also the bullet through the.
There's so many things.
The hole.
Exactly. There's so many memorable moments of that movie. It's like, if you can have a bad, weak story as long as you give me some fun things to look at. And this doesn't even do that. Unfortunately, it commits all your worst movie sins. It's boring. It's hard to follow. It's not memorable. I can't recommend a movie to somebody that I can't even tell you what it's about or what even like you get out of watching it. Because I don't think I got anything out of watching it, unfortunately. But I'm always glad to bring more giallo to the Freak Show because it adds to this like rich text of my own like personal education, right? Like
it elevates the other ones.
Exactly.
Too.
Yeah. I have a better understanding for the good ones by watching the bad ones, right?
There's goodness that can come out of a bad giallo movie.
So it has its purpose, but unless you're like deep academia of giallo, you can pass. And so I'm going to pass on it. Sean, what'd you think?
I agree with you guys. I feel like this is not one of the more memorable giallo movies. I need a little bit more to it. Again, there's nothing like. I'm not mad at this movie. It just wasn't. It just didn't do enough. It just, like I've seen. Colin, I can't believe we got here, and you should be very proud of this. I've seen so many other giallo. He is He's shaking his head. Like I've seen so many other more interesting giallo movies. That do so much more that when this one came along, it's just like, okay, we didn't do enough. And it's, it felt like it was nothing latched on where you could remember. I can't even remember certain characters throughout this. Like, I'm really reaching with Italian Eric Roberts here. Like, so there wasn't enough to make it memorable. Again, we're going to walk out of here and not remember what happened in this movie at all. And that's a detriment to, the viewing experience of this movie. So I'm going to pass on the, what is it?
The fifth chord.
The fifth chord. Like, even that is not memorable. So, they didn't do enough. Again, but I like Franco Nero, the cinematography. There's the stuff that's like really good in this movie, but it just didn't do enough to like really, make a memory for me. And I don't think it will for anybody else. There are better giallo movies you can go to. And there's a longer list above this that you can go to before you even get to this one. So I'm going to pass on the fifth chord. Holly, take us home.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you all said. I enjoy the flavor of a 70s Italian movie, the style. Yeah, like it's the way everyone's dressed and the architecture, and it's all really beautiful. And the cinematography in this is truly gorgeous. There are some scenes where I'm just like, wow, that's a shot. Like I said, it made me want to paint it, which to me that's always a sign of great cinematography. So those are the pluses. I was hoping for more from Ennio Morricone, but it was a very lackluster score. But it's a sleepy movie, so I get why he didn't have a lot to work with. But yeah, we've watched so many better giallo movies on this podcast. But I agree, like watching stuff like this makes me realize that the ones we've seen, how good they really were in comparison. Like I need to go back and watch some of them because they were just phenomenal. Like opera was a spectacle and it was
we love opera.
Fantastic.
Do we do the Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward?
Yes, we did.
Okay, that's what I
Yes,
thought.
Because I kept calling it the Strange Ward of Mrs. Vice.
I just remember her smashing glass on her chest.
I just recently listened to that one. So yes,
Yeah.
we did,
Torso.
Isn't that the one where
Torso.
the two guys are at the end just laughing hysterically?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. We remember that one.
Yes.
When you have moments like
Yeah,
that,
yes.
we remember your
exactly.
movie.
I was like, those are the things that this movie was lacking.
Yeah.
We got a great chase scene that was surprising.
It was good, yeah.
It was a good chase
good
scene.
elements.
I liked it, but the rest of the movie was so sleepy that it was, by the time we got there, we're just like, all right, let's just take the mask off. Let's go. Let's get to this. So yeah, this is not it's not even in the top 20 giallos that you should start watch. You should watch first. No, I'm going to say there are other ones that you can watch that are way more entertaining. But you know, we have something to compare it to, so we know what the good ones are.
Indeed. What was the one where the lady went to the mountains in the Swiss and went insane?
Oh, at the very
At
end.
the end of opera.
Is that the end of opera?
Yeah.
Opera. Go watch opera.
Yeah.
Just everyone go watch opera.
There was like dogs chasing her through the woods. Yeah.
Dogs showed up.
Yeah.
They're looking for the killers.
Yeah.
Go watch opera.
God.
Opera's great.
I'm due for a
We love
rewatch, I
opera.
think.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so too.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go.
There you go.
All
That's a
right,
no.
it's
That is a
On
no.
the fifth chord.
Although it's been beautifully restored because Blue Underground, Bill
Bless
Lustig, the
him.
director
Yeah.
of Maniac, like had this company and he like bought
his company?
all of them,
Okay.
and like restored all of these, so you can find like every giallo movie.
There's a
pretty
lot
much.
of people that really like this movie.
Okay.
I saw a lot of people saying like, "Oh, where can I find more movies like The Fifth Chord? I really like that. It's an unknown gem." I'm like,
Oh, well, you will. There are many more, and we have suggestions.
Yeah, I guess
better
that's the thing.
movies.
You wonder, like, where are they in their?
Yeah, I was like,
Right,
if
where
you
did
s-
they start?
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like you have such sights ahead of you.
Right.
Yeah. It's part of the reason I was like, well, let's check it out. If it's this like unknown movie,
Sure.
we got to find it.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Okay, so next week
Y'all.
It's a
We're
big
gonna-
week.
we're not gonna watch a movie that's
No.
chosen by anybody.
We're gonna watch a movie that we
It's
chose.
we're
chose
talking about
by
a lot
all
of
of us. Yeah.
We all chose.
We all chose.
That's right. It's time for that big episode, the end of the year wrap up, where we're gonna tell you the best and worst movies of 2024.
Crazy.
An episode so big, you haven't heard most of them. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say for
Yeah.
this show. Some of them are so great they got deleted because they were just so good,
So
or maybe so drunk. I don't know. There's.
Last year we all did it virtually, and that sucked.
Oh,
so
did we all? Was it virtual?
Was it
last
last
year?
Yes, it
last year
was.
there was a
Oh, I had
sickness
COVID
going
last
year.
around.
Yes.
Yep.
I had COVID last
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
We'll try and make it better, folks.
That's right. So
Yeah.
everybody
Knock on all
stay
that fucking wood. Yeah.
stay healthy
Yeah.
for one more week.
Mhm.
We also want to say happy holidays,
Yeah, very
Um,
much. Happy holidays.
happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We're
love
thankful
you.
for you.
Thank
We
you.
love you.
It was a great. It was a great year.
Yes.
Like, thank you for everything. Thank
was
you
a
for writing
great
in.
year for
Thank you
the
for being
freak show.
fans. We
Mhm.
love you. We appreciate you listening and
Yes.
writing in.
Don't thank them too much until we know what movie we're watching in January.
That's
You
a
know?
good point.
So much support over the years. We will. Oh no! If they give us bad shit, I will lambast them.
I know,
If they
but
give
you're
us a bad
just.
movie, but for right now, thank you.
I am not over detention. I am still mad about that. So I'm still mad.
Okay, all
still
right,
mad
let's
about
stop.
that.
Did you recommend detention?
No, I
I
did
may
not.
have. I'm not sure.
Maybe it was you.
I might have.
I'm looking
'cause
for
that
someone
movie-
to blame on detention.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might have been me.
Might have been you. I think it was you, Colin. Somebody did, and I will find you.
Wow. So that's all coming up here in the coming weeks.
Year
We
end.
will
I
hope
got a lot of
you'll
work-
join
I got
us.
a lot of work to do for next week.
Yeah. Well, I'll be cramming for this final all week.
But dear listener, let us know what your end is. Your year end is. What are your
Yeah,
like,
tell
top
us what
4?
movies you liked.
Yeah, movies. Like, what did you enjoy this
Yeah.
year? This is the time for it. So let us know. Right
Yeah.
in.
Maybe we missed something.
Yeah, we
Yeah, let us
probably.
know.
I know I definitely did.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
no, we all missed something throughout
For
the year.
sure.
Dear Brailer, let us know what we missed. And yeah.
All right. Well, we hope you'll join us for our plus-sized episode, the best and worst episode or movies of 2024, coming next week. And until then, ladies and germs, the basement is going dark.